Hey folks, how's it going? This is Dominic here from Maroon. Welcome to this edition of the Phish of the Week. This week we're going to take a look at an IRS phishing campaign that's been hitting our customers. And this campaign here, it's simply telling our customers that they have a tax refund that needs to be collected, and it'll provide them with username and password. The interesting thing about this campaign here is that the attackers have basically varied the email itself by changing the colors, the way the text appears on the buttons that you need to click in, of course the subject line, and all kind of variations here, all this in an attempt to fool signature-based engines. But the gist of it is that it's telling you that you have a refund, and it's giving you some credentials in order to be able to access that refund. So let's go ahead and get Phish here. So when I click on the button here, it's taking me to this IRS webpage. I'll log in with the information that was provided in the email, and then I get a notice that's saying that I have a document waiting that needs to be signed in order to collect my refund here. So let's go ahead and do that, and we see that it pulls down a zip file, and then if I click on the upload file to send the file back up, I just get this thank you note saying that, hey, we'll contact you. So if we take a deeper look at this document.zip file that we just downloaded here, it contains a VBS file. If we actually look at the content of that VBS file, there's a bunch of obfuscated code in there. That's usually a telltale sign that it's actually some bad news. And then if we pull the hash of that file and just compare it on VirusTotal, and we can clearly see that it's actually a malicious file here. So really the attackers want you to execute that in order to achieve their objective here. So how does this work? Well, like I said, the email itself, there's a lot of variation there. Interestingly enough, we've seen, this attack's been going on for about a week here, and over that week, the various customers were kind of continuously getting hit by that. That variation was doing a pretty decent job at fooling engines. Others were doing better in terms of being able to catch this, but we still see this kind of leak through over a week here. In terms of the compromised website that the attackers was using, that was all over the place, right? So they've actually compromised a fair amount of sites out there in order to host that IRS page. Some of them were a little better, some of them were not as good. The sample I showed you earlier was obviously not well secured or didn't contain a certificate there, but others did have one. So why does this work, right? So these attackers are trying to, create an emotional response from you, telling you that you have a tax refund waiting, and then they want you to log in, download the file, and execute that. So everything about the attack itself looks, decently legitimate. The website looks like the IRS website. Not many people go there very often, but if you compare it, it looks very similar. The flag on the background, the way the menu is set up, just kind of makes it look a little bit more real. So how do we get ahead of these phishing campaigns? Well, one, we need technology that allows us to proactively crawl the internet, understand what kinds of campaigns are being set up out there, discover those websites that have been compromised, as well as how these are being weaponized within the emails. And finally, you apply all this through advanced detection technologies, be able to understand what the message is asking, understand the content of those messages, do brand detection, so detect those IRS logos and flag them if they don't really belong there. As the link taking you to an IRS website is the infrastructure associated with the IRS, in this case, to make sure that it's all legitimate. And then the detection models have to be able to identify those different variations, right? So as we saw here, the email has been, a little bit all over the place in terms of what it looks like, but effectively they're all the same thing here. So if you guys are having any problems with that, or you need any help, blocking these types of phishing campaigns, feel free to reach us. We're at area1security.com. Thank you, and have a great day.